but from the school of hard knocks. See, sometimes in school, you're supposed to raise your hand, when you know the answer. And I would so seldomly not know the answer that sometimes I would just shout the answer out. And the question was, I think it was geography, where do women have the curliest hair? So I shouted out the answer. apparently,
their forearms. The back of their head.
The correct answer is Africa. Okay.
What's happening, my friends? Welcome to the Experienced Sailor Experience. I'm Michael with Sailing Dead Reckoning, and today's guest sailor is my good friend Terry Brent. Here's an experience for you.
This is Stargazer.
Yeah.
She's my catamaran, and she's really fun and beautiful. But then I fell in love with another girl.
You got a new girlfriend over there behind us?
Yes, and she's a real beauty. I'm making nifty, all aluminum, 52 feet long. I mean, I'm gonna have a fireplace in there, jacuzzi, flat screen TV.
Yesterday's lazy days. Are you gonna rename her?
The Beam. I don't know.
So this is my friend Terry, and Terry's a sailor, and Terry's a fun sailor. He's been a live aboard. He lives just up the water from me and Gulf Shores, and we found the love of sailing together, and we've struck up a pretty good friendship. So Terry, can you tell me, how did you fall in love with sailing? Like, give me that whole background story. Like what pulled you into it?
I think when you're a young man and you see one go by, and then maybe the first time that salt air catches that sail and you get that whoa, and then you try and control it. Obviously the first time you do it, especially if you're not under instruction, you're
right.
like, yeah, I can do this. It's like, woo.
That looked a lot easier when they were going by the first time.
And sure, so and I guess it bit me. Well, you were kind of an inspiration for me to get it. When I was running down the river in my little rubber boat, and you were playing a guitar or something. I'm like, dude, I like your boat. You're like, yeah. You remember?
Yeah, dude. I'm sitting here thinking like, the first time that I met you, you had a yellow sailboat named Mighty Mouse.
Still got her.
Like Mighty Mouse, and I was like, that's a cool freaking color on that boat, man.
She's got me, I should say. Mighty Mouse. Can't get rid of her. She's a beauty.
It's a cool little boat.
Something that I find terribly ironic is that a lot of people don't know it, but if they know me, you do know, but I'm a speed freak. I have a car that does 175 miles an hour, lickety split, and I've got.
And you're a pilot.
Yeah, I am a pilot, and a Ducati that it's like hard to keep the 100 miles an hour. The front wheel just comes up in the air, and you're not even trying. Anyway, so I'm a speed freak, and everybody knows it. And they say to me, "Why on earth would you get into sailboats? They're so slow. If you spin her up and you're only making maybe 10 or 11 knots, there's white water pouring off the pontoons.
That's a great speed for a sailboat.
You're the wind's in. It's almost fast enough to water ski, and it's your living room. To have a living room that does 10 knots is cool,
isn't it? Though, just load up and go where you want to go.
There's a certain feeling of what when you're on a sailboat, independence,
freedom.
Yeah, there you go. I like words like that. Why don't we put this on your smiling face for a little bit?
We can.
Yeah, this time the star of the show is Michael. Yeah. And he's going to be answering some questions. And we're going to be questioning his reasoning on going across like the Bermuda Triangle and the Pacific Ocean and the Panama Canal and doing all this stuff by himself on a sailboat.
So what is the question?
Did you bang your head? And what about if you get pirates? What about if you get thrown overboard? What about you lose your course? There's a killer storm. I mean, you got no plan B. You ain't got another boat. Shouldn't you have another boat off your 6?
No, so many people sail around the world solo. You know,
I know.
I fell in love with sailing when Miami Vice came out in the 80s because, man, that guy was living on the back of his sailboat in Miami, and I was like, man, that's a pretty cool life to live. And you know, from that, I fell in love with the nostalgia of it, and then I discovered Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett was always on a sailboat or something. You know, I've been a songwriter almost all my life, and I was like, wow, I could live on a sailboat, write music like Jimmy Buffett, and travel around. Well, I was married for 22 years, and my ex-wife never wanted to get offshore with me. She was deathly afraid of going offshore. We watched that movie, The Perfect Storm. It was The Perfect Storm, and she was like, there's no way I'm getting out there with you, these big old waves doing this. And I'm like, that's not really like that. You know, we can, you know, I mean, it does get bad sometimes, but I mean, you just don't go when it's bad like that.
Sure.
And so what happened was I was getting divorced after 22 years. And the day that she was leaving, she looked me dead in the eye, Terry, and she says, you know, now you can get that sailboat that you always wanted. And it was like, poof, this light went off in my head, and I got online that night and I started shopping around, and I found like 5 boats to
nice
go look
recovery.
at. And like, this is the one that I bought. I bought this boat like 3 months. Well, no, like our divorce took 11 months. So it was probably 5 or 6 months later I bought this boat. And then I got stuck in COVID, so I couldn't go to Florida. So I'm back here. Oh man, it messed us up bad. And then I was like, you know, I'm going to bring this boat back. And so I brought it back, spent 5 years getting it ready and telling myself, oh, you know, I'll find a girlfriend or a crew, somebody that wants to go. And it's like, every girlfriend I've had was all gung-ho until they get on the boat, and then it's like,
And the same thing with sailing. I don't want to go solo. You know,
it's hard.
I know.
You know,
I know.
What do you think the hardest part is about being solo out there, in your mind?
Probably
because you mentioned pirates, but I mean, you.
Oh, well, that's always a threat, and that's by far the most dangerous animal out there. You're going to worry about sharks. You're going to worry about people. They'll take advantage of you in a second. I hate to say that, but I've seen it happen. I've watched them when one guy comes to a place, he goes out, and the other people, he's gone. They go in there and clean him out, and there you are. I mean, it could be the first day of your trip or the last one.
I know that
all your
happens.
electronics and shit are gone, and you feel violated. At any rate,
most theft happens at Anchorage,
right?
Not while you're out somewhere, and it's normally a populated Anchorage. If you're off on an island somewhere and there's nobody around, there's nobody to steal your stuff.
Right. Well, I don't worry about them too much. I mean, my real concern is, I'm old. I'm almost 70. And I've had a couple of heat strokes. It's not a matter of mustering up. I literally shut down. I just start sweating profuse. It's like I'm too small of a radiator or my thermostat's off or something. But I can't take the heat. If we were to run aground and I were to be on this sailboat in the sun with no air conditioning for 6 hours, by the time they got to me, it looked like a little piece of bacon out there on the deck.
Now, see, what you're talking about now is a topic of concern for solo sailors. Is your health. It's like the things that people never think about. You know, if I'm on my boat by myself almost everywhere. Well, if something happens and I slip and I fall,
break an arm or something,
and I knock myself unconscious. You know what I mean? Anything like that. I cut myself badly. You know,
yeah, how can you do it? That's what I say.
It's like you have to be extremely careful. You have to take every safety precaution available. And then there's times when
all doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, the crap hits the fan, as they say, and you're like, oh my God,
and it snowballs.
Yeah, and then you're just like, I just got to do what I can do, and please, Lord, don't let me die.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in all those, but I mean, I've had high anxiety sometimes on, like this last crossing I did across the Caribbean. There was like half of a day where I almost felt like I was having a heart attack because I was stressing. You know, my anxiety level was high.
Because?
Well, there was no wind and the current was against me.
Fuel situation?
I was 500 miles from shore in any direction, no matter what I was doing.
Damn it, that's far.
I did 50 nautical miles that day, which is nothing, you know what I mean? Did absolutely nothing. And I had to motor the whole time. And so I was thinking like, oh my God. And plus with that, it's like I had taken on a wave over the stern. It had killed my freezer. And so I'm like, oh my God, you know, my food is going to go out and I'm going to have to eat all this food. And, you know, and there's no wind and the current's against me. And then along with that, it was so overcast that
solar panels weren't?
No, my satellite phone, which is where I get my weather from, Predict Wind, wasn't picking up anything. I tried for half of a day, and I couldn't get my weather so that I could update and figure out, which way do I need to motor to try and get back out of this current or to pick up some wind. And I eventually just had to turn on Starlink, and it's like, so my whole thing was like, I was sitting there stressing. I had to literally calm myself down and be like, dude, take it easy, take a deep breath, and just relax.
Like mastering the sea. It's like a little mini competition. You and the boat, and I think I think when you get sailing and you're able to command that ship, it's a feeling of like somehow, freedom and self-reliance and harmony with nature, like the ocean, it's like
Janis Joplin said, freedom is just another way of saying there's nothing left to lose.
Well,
or she says, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose.
Yeah, Bobby McGee, right?
Yeah. I'm 52 years old, and I'm currently sailing around the world by myself. There's nobody else on the boat. I occasionally have, some people that get on there with me for short little excursions, but that's about it. And so, Terry, how old are you?
I'm gonna be 69 and feeling fine.
69, man. You freaking look great for 69, bro.
Well, I look great for 59.
Yeah, but I mean, like. But you have some health concerns. You've had a heat stroke in the past. Is that?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm a 2-stroke.
2-stroke.
Yeah.
At least don't become a 4-stroke, Terry. Do not become a 4-stroke. We'll have to take all the oil and put all the oil back into you, man.
Man, I'll tell you. Yeah, well, it's bound to happen if you ain't really, like I say, if you don't have Plan B, and you're in Florida or Alabama, and the heat index is 118. That's in the shade. Heat index 117, 115.
Hot.
And then if you
you can cook an egg out on the street.
Yeah. So that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. I mean, it's not. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful. I just go. I'm gonna lay down here and take a nap in the sun. I get like delirious. So I gotta have fans and shade and ice, and I guess I'm kind of
air
conditioning. I'm soft that way, if you will.
Yeah.
I can make it a day. I can make it a day or two. I can go to Dolphin Island, Chandeliers. 2-3 days. But
and that's why you haven't come to visit me in the Caribbean so far, is because I don't have air conditioning on my boat.
Well, you want me to crap out on you, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, I mean, I just literally sweat but it doesn't work. I overheat anyway. Like I say, if I was a machine, I'd say your radiator's too small, your thermostat's stuck. But it's all I can do in the hot sun. If I'm not, I can't make it in the sun with no shade or wind. Like in a parking lot, I couldn't change a flat tire anymore. That sucks.
The biggest safety issue that I see on a boat comes from,
falling overboard, right?
No, it's like they get heat exhaustion.
Right.
That's the sun beats down on them. They get sunburned. Right. They're not drinking enough water.
Makes you.
Next thing you know, they've got a pounding headache and they're sunburned. Then they're trying to get cooled off. How do you get cooled off in a hot boat when it's 100 degrees? You know what I mean? You turn on some fans, you're like, the only thing you can do is get in the water.
Most of us don't have air conditioning at sea. When you get stressed, get below deck, try to relax, get your thoughts together, sit down if you need to, get in front of a fan, cool yourself off, and try to gather your thoughts. And that's the best way to stay safe, is keeping a good level head on your shoulders.